Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Hostage video released. Trump gagged. Penn in turmoil. And a pharmacy goes bankrupt. That's all coming up. Then Bill will be here with your message of the day. But first, Hamas released its first hostage video. Mia Shem, 21 years old. She said in the video, it seems to me under some duress. Quote, "They took me to the hospital for 3 hours. They are worried about me. They are taking care of me. They are giving me medicines. Everything is fine. I'm just asking to be returned home as soon as possible to my family, my parents, and my brothers. Please get us out of here as soon as possible. Thank you." A judge has issued a gag order in relation to Donald Trump's January 6th indictment. The judge said First Amendment protections yield to the administration of justice and to the protection of witnesses. His presidential candidacy does not give him carte blanche to vilify public servants who are simply doing their job. So this would mean that Trump can't call Jack Smith, the special counsel, deranged anymore, I suppose. One of Trump's attorneys in court said, "What does somebody do in the face of oppression in a system that now approaches totalitarianism?" And Trump wrote on Truth Social, "Today really isn't about gagging me. It's an attempt to gag the American people." John Huntsman Jr., former governor of Utah, he was also the former ambassador to China and Russia. He has a net worth of $1.2 billion. He served in every presidential administration since Reagan. He also has given tens of millions of dollars to his alma mater, University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League school in Philadelphia. But Huntsman said the checkbook is officially closed in response to the university's weak response to anti-Semitism on campus. Another man who makes Huntsman look poor, Mark Rowan, worth $6 billion, also said he's not giving any more money to the university, and another board member resigned. Well, the next day, the university president released a message speaking out against anti-Semitism. Money talks, and courage is contagious. Rite Aid, the third largest pharmacy, has filed for bankruptcy. They have 2,200 stores, and they are closing 500 of them for now. There were a lot of issues over the years, but the final blow seemed to be thousands of lawsuits against Rite Aid because they filled prescriptions for opioid painkillers, people blaming the pharmacy. In the last 40 years, the number of independent pharmacies in the country has been cut in half. I'm Mike Slater, Bill O'Reilly, with your message of the day. Next.
Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Tuesday, President Biden appeared on 60 Minutes to discuss the Hamas-Israel war. And in the setup to the interview, CBS correspondent Scott Pelley told the audience the president was tired and therefore had some trouble speaking because the interview was taped, and that turned out to be true. That was a courtesy from Mr. Paley, one that I might have offered myself. The nation knows President Biden is feeling the effects of age, and to report that is not out of line. The rest of the interview was predictable, with soft questions like, is freeing the hostages your highest priority? Come on, Scott. What do you expect him to say? Mr. Biden's policy of supporting Israel is correct, but in my opinion, he and his administration have no insight into the vicious dilemma which has been going on since 1948. The president trotted out the old misdirection of establishing two independent states in the region, and that is utter nonsense. The Palestinians are completely dominated by terrorists who want to exterminate Jews, so how could you have a peaceful state solution? You can't. We've reached a point in history where American leaders are largely mediocrities with few insights or any historical knowledge whatsoever. And the savages around the world know that our political leadership is weak. And believe me, they are taking advantage of that. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Let's go to the mail. Kenny Hastings, Ontario, Canada. Hey, Bill, it wasn't really unreasonable for the Allies to give the Jews the Holy Land, but don't you think it would have been smarter to give them some other territory? There was no other territory. And there was already a structure in the Holy Land. So that was never going to happen, Kenny. But it's a good question you're asking. David Carpenter, Adirondack, New York, just finished reading Killing the Killers the day before Hamas attacked Israel last week. I purchased a book in an airport bookstore and read it. I couldn't put it down. I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to understand the terror threat. Killing the Killers, I think, was my best reporting ever that I've ever done. Kenneth Sullivan, Gauley Bridge, West Virginia. Why doesn't Egypt accept refugees from Gaza? Doesn't have the infrastructure to do it. Just can't do it, and wouldn't do it because that would alienate the terror people, and Egypt doesn't want any more trouble with the Islamic Brotherhood and all of that, so they wouldn't do it. Angelo Di Donato, Macomb, Michigan. As you said, Hamas' only goal is to kill Jews. It couldn't care less about its own people or a two-state solution. I believe Hamas' real goal is to cause Israel to end up killing multiple times more innocent Palestinians. Yeah, I mean, sure. That's what they want. And Israel has got to be very, very careful when it goes into Gaza. Janet, concierge member. Janet gets direct access to me. I hope you consider that program. It will enhance your life. It will. Bill, you say no evidence of Barack Obama running the Biden administration. How much do you think Obama wants his fingerprints on what's going on, even though his fundamental plan is to destroy our country? Janet, look, I know a lot of people believe that Barack Obama wants to destroy America. I understand. But it's my job to report the facts, not individual belief systems. In a moment, something you might not know. If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 92 years ago today, America's most notorious gangster was convicted after evading law enforcement for a decade. He's sentenced amid a brutal campaign of smuggling, extortion, and murder. The criminal Al Capone, his crime, tax evasion. Here is the story. Born in 1899, Brooklyn, New York, Alphonse Capone was expelled from school at the age of 14. He then joined a gang and earned the nickname Scarface after being sliced across the cheek in a back alley brawl. In 1919, Al moved to Chicago at the invitation of mafia boss Johnny Torrio. He became a crime kingpin by murdering his competitors. The bloodshed got the attention of federal agent Elliot Ness and his crew of untouchables. For the next decade, Capone became one of the most powerful men in America. The bodies piled up, but the untouchables could not make any murder charges stick. The strategy changed in 1927 in a landmark decision still used against criminals today. The Supreme Court ruled that money made from illegal activity like smuggling can be taxed as personal income. Capone, famous for his lavish lifestyle, had never filed a single tax return. The IRS compiled evidence that Big Al made millions by distributing illegal alcohol. He was indicted on 22 counts of tax evasion. On October 17, 1931, the gangster was convicted in federal court. 1 week later, he was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Capone served his time in Alcatraz, then a mental hospital before dying in 1947 from syphilis. He was 48 years old. And here's something else you might not know. For his crimes, the IRS ordered Al Capone to pay $200,000 in back taxes. Well, that figure was far too low. The agency estimates Al made $100 million a year selling booze. For more incredible stories about the FBI's campaign to eliminate organized crime, please check out my book, Killing the Mob. Back after this. If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You don't have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services today. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If they can't reduce your payments or put you in a better position, Anthem Tax Services will refund your money 100%. The information is free. The help is real. Please call Anthem Tax Services, 800-810-9193. 800-810-9193. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.